be calling up another community leader another leader in our community, Esther Onolememen. She is a specialist psychiatric social worker with the HSC, and she's also the CEO and founder of Sickle Cell Society Ireland. She's a woman of great strength and a very admirable one.
Thank you, GB. Good evening, everyone. I must say I'm quite pleased tonight to have this opportunity to chip in my 2 cents, maybe. And I'm just going to build a little bit on the previous speakers. So I come from a very different background with about nearly 13 years in practice as a social worker, and the first nearly 10 years of my practice was in child protection. So I suppose you know yourselves, I would have been your colleague at some time and also liaised with yourselves as well. So in this room, I must acknowledge we have a few social workers. I can see my colleagues here, Shola and Evelyn, if there's somebody else I'm missing. And we see things from very different perspectives. I know we as Africans, we have been trained in Ireland, so we understand the Children's Act and laws according to family laws in Ireland. So there is a lot going on for our children and even our parents. Most of us would have come into the country with huge culture shock, not understanding, how to even assimilate into the new community, with very different traditional beliefs, religious beliefs, and in reality, practices vary. And having children in a very different sociocultural environment from where we come from would have been very challenging for most of us. I suppose some of the challenges our children would have faced, if I speak from my years of child protection experiences, would have been assessed without due culture competence in some aspects, and in other aspects, the lack of understanding of the laws from our, African parenting styles. For instance, some children would have come into care for physical abuse, for instance, and when you're assessing an African parent, for instance, she's quoting the scriptures, religious beliefs, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. Spare the rod and spoil the child. And you use the computer cable to flog your child. I'm sure in history, while we were in college, we knew things like this happened in Ireland, And you're being assessed, you're being advised, and you're arguing, you're telling your worker what your views, what your theories around that assessment are like. They don't have that insight. I'm a black social worker, but an Irish native, indigenous social worker may not get your social cultural perspective of rearing your children.